All right, fellas, here we are. Welcome to MintMap Spaces today. It's pretty unusual for me to say on that beautiful Monday. We are used to go live on Fridays, but today is a very, very special day for us. Um, Most of you guys listening here and to you guys listening to the recording, I've seen that most of the people are actually listening to the recording, which is totally fine. But as I said, 1 year ago from today, we minted our first collection on Bitcoin, the Boss Ordinals, and man, I actually got a little emotional today. I thought about the whole journey we've made so far. It was very special, a lot of highs, some lows also. That is probably normal. And yeah, Jason, how are you today? I actually thought about jumping in and singing happy birthday, but yeah, unfortunately we are a little late. So yeah, tell me, how are you, man?
Doing good, man. Just it was a crazy week. Actually, this artwork was a lot more work than I thought it was going to be, and which meant there was a lot more data work to do. So it was a longer week than I expected. But I'm super, super proud of this artwork, and I hope like hell that I meant the one of one because it's pretty fucking awesome. But yeah, I'm good, man. How about yourself?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good as well, man. Happy for the day, for the occasion today. And I gotta say, man, I actually got to look at the whole batch this morning when you sent it over to me, and I felt like you could immediately see that there's so much more work in it, and that like the majority was basically hand touched as well. And yeah, I think people will like it. People will love it. And yeah, talking of the one of one, maybe we can spoil a little bit. It's going to be a very famous patriotic figure. And I feel like I actually just re-watched to some images of the original one, and I felt like you did some pretty great work, man. Definitely, especially the hair, man. That was perfect, man.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I think people will get it immediately when they see it, and yeah, but it should speak for itself. It's very patriotic. I think we can probably just go ahead and say, hey, man, if you mint Uncle Sam, you did really good. See if you can mint Uncle Sam today. It's a pretty badass piece.
Yeah, definitely. I'm curious to see who's going to get it. I mean, I'm a little afraid you're going to mint like 80 pieces just to get it. But yeah, let's see. I'm preparing the mint link right now, and we'll drop it in a couple of seconds. And yeah, then give us some time to mint a couple pieces. Um, and yeah, let's see. And then we have to say the trade, the hand trade. You want to reveal that as well? Because you mentioned it earlier this week that it actually was an idea from guest user, and yeah, I love that as well. I actually even love that you put euros on it, and which is pretty uncommon for you, man. I actually expected like dollars and pounds and stuff, but yeah, people will see what I mean when they get a piece.
Well, I was thinking of you, man. Like everything is always, U.S. and dollars and this and that and the other thing. And so I was like, well, you know what? Like, what's more Italian than like a open air market where people are selling fresh produce and vegetables and fruits and stuff like that. So yeah, so we priced this particular fruit in euros as an homage to you, my friend. That was what it's all about. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. A lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely. It's beautiful. It's wonderful, man, and I appreciate that. And I mean, you Americans got the Uncle Sam, and we got the euros, so it's all good. Yeah, dropping the mint link right now. So good luck to everyone getting your favorite pieces. And it's live. Oh, damn, I have to. Let's see, like this. I will go ahead and mint immediately. So I hope everyone's fine with that. Um, And yeah, we also have to mention the backgrounds as well. Like I hope to get some of the backgrounds that Yvette created. That would be great. curious to see the feedback on these. I think one has been dropped, like on Twitter and on an announcement on the last one, but there are two more and they're perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, Yvette is here, so yeah, shout out to Yvette for creating these beautiful backgrounds.
Oh, 100%. She killed it. She absolutely killed it. And I think there's maybe, I forget the count. I was going to post counts, man, but I just ran out of time working on all this stuff. And I think there's maybe 15, maybe 17 total. I split amongst three of the backgrounds that Yvette did. Hey there, Yvette's on the call. What's up, girl? Hope you're doing well. Thanks for all of the amazing artwork that you did. Turned out fantastic. And yeah, so everyone should have a pretty good chance of getting one, especially if you're minting multiples. And then I think there's 5 or 6 new hand traits. There's also a new eyewear hand trait, or eyewear hand trait, an eyewear trait. And there's actually a fourth background, which is actually stark, just plain stark white, which is really kind of slick. So yeah, there's lots of new artwork. All of it, because we had so many new pieces and new aspects to the artwork. You know, basically when I generated the first 10,000 pieces, what I'm going back and doing is I'm basically touching the pieces that I want to update or modify. And because we've added so much new artwork and so many new traits and different looks to the pieces, I've basically had to touch every single piece that was already generated. So when I posted it, like 60% of this particular batch was built by hand, I literally went back and basically deleted 60 of the 100 pieces and then rebuilt them from the ground up, step by step by step. And then, of course, every time you do that, you have to also rebuild the data by hand and then spit out a new set of JSON files for every single file. So this particular batch was definitely a labor of love. And I think there's really only 2 more batches before we hit the face batch. And then we're at that 1,000 piece mark where we go into the next era. So probably by the time we do the next batch, the next 2 batches, like basically every piece will be hand touched at that point, because there's just no point in going backwards now that we've got so many new things added. And of course, the look of the art is changed and the feel has changed too. So yeah, it's becoming increasingly more work, but I think the results, are definitely worth it. So for me, it's worth the extra time and effort to make sure that we're putting out a quality product. Because I mean, again, that's our brand in the first place.
I just have to add real quick that I currently have some issues minting. I'm not sure if I'm the only one. Have you tried already? Because I'm not sure if Metaplex keeps loading. Let's see if it's my connection or if anybody else has issues.
I'm just going there now. Let me see if I can see what I can see.
Yes, seems to be Metaplex. In the beginning, it actually said like no eligible NFTs found in the wallet, and the both coins were not loading. Seems to be a problem from Metaplex or my connection, but maybe you can bring some light into my world.
Let me see here. Yeah, I did everything right. Could be if there's a problem, it might be my fault. Let me just see here.
Yes, so STC said she has problems as well. Seems like there is a problem with Metaplex.
Okay, 2 seconds. Let me see if I can figure something out. Hmm. Never fails, man.
That had to happen on the birthday mint, man. That's our gift from Metaplex.
Yeah.
So we got Yvette as a speaker now. So yeah, glad to hear you. I've never listened to you speaking.
Hello, good morning. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you perfectly. So it's great to have you here. Maybe you want to talk a little bit about the backgrounds you created.
Oh, well, good morning, afternoon, depending on where you are. Yeah, thank you. No, the backgrounds were, it's, I have to say it's really, maybe it's just easy being a part of a community and really sort of living and breathing the project and really understanding it and seeing it and really having, I guess, becoming a part of the vision of the project. So when I sat down to look at creating backgrounds, I pulled up the as many. Well, I pulled up my NFTs first just to start there, and looking at my bosses and looking at just really sort of the underlying color patterns, and just went to town from there, just sort of creating colors and pulling together colors and textures and just shapes, and then it's just sort of it's the rabbit hole. You can go as far as you'd like to go, and then just sort of at one point I had to pull back because of all the intricacies and all the shapes and designs in a lot of the faces, and really just trying to balance the activity in the background with the activity and the movement and the vibrancy of any given piece, and not really knowing what pieces might be, put together, connected with them. Um, it just it was a lot of fun, and it was a lot of at the end of the day restraint, because I think a lot of the original backgrounds sort of were really really textured and very very multicolored. So it was fun. I hope everyone that's able to receive one enjoys it. But I really like what I've seen so far. It looks really exciting.
Yeah, definitely. I couldn't agree more. I love how that turned out, and yeah, maybe you can tell us a little bit about your general journey as an artist. I mean, your art is definitely more abstract, um, like compared to the art we acquired so far. So, how long have you been doing this, and what is your inspiration?
Well, I mean, I think I think for many artists that answer sort of goes back to forever. Um, you start creating and drawing and painting. I started painting and drawing at a very early age, and I mean, I've had several careers in business and construction and finance and real estate, and at the end of the day, um, obviously none of those really allowed me to be that creative. I didn't really go a design route. And so to sort of circle back to this within the last, uh, 10 years or so is just, it's very liberating. It's freeing. It's relaxing. It's what I do, and I'm not doing anything else, or it's what I stop doing something else to sit down and create. Um, so yeah, it's just a part of what I do. There's a sketchbook always in my purse, and it's just abstract. It's just a lot of fun for me. It's just so wide open. It's the time that I'm allowed to just sort of really step outside of the box and just see what's happening in my head. So that's definitely my preferred mode of operation, but I definitely do a lot.
Yeah, that sounds great, actually. Could you one question? Could you maybe mute yourself when you're not speaking because there is a lot of background noise coming from you?
Absolutely. Sorry about that. I think I had this fan that was probably too close to me as well.
Yeah, no problem. Just to Jason seems to be working now. Look, just take some time until you're able to mint, but looks like it's working now. There are like almost 25 pieces minted already. So this is great. Yvette, yeah, you talked about your art, but what I would like to know is, have you ever considered creating like real persons, like maybe male or female art, or do you feel like that the abstract art is basically your home and you want to stay there?
Abstract art is definitely where I love to stay. I mean, I definitely have done, it's more portrait art I guess more than anything, it's not caricature, it's not character, um, it's definitely more. I think I posted a piece. I have a series that I'm slowly putting up on Exchange Art. It's called the Art of Face, and it actually has just different takes on face, and some are extremely abstract, and some are a little more portrait. Um, you know, you can actually identify that there's a person's face there. Um, so I kind of go back and forth between those two. But yeah, I think to answer your question, I definitely sort of lean more abstract for sure.
That's cool. I'm actually right now checking out some stuff that you created, like the Art of Face. Seems to be like some kind of series. I'm seeing the To Dream piece, which
Yes.
is like so good actually, and I love that you like keep using these backgrounds, and yeah, that's actually very beautiful. Um, Handing the mic now to Jason because I just realized I forgot to send some Solana to my Mint wallet. So I have to just send some Solana from one wallet to another. So Jason, yeah, go ahead if you're good now. Jason seems to be busy minting all the pieces. So if you guys manage to get a new trait or a new background, like feel free to drop it into the Discord. Would be great to hear people's opinion. As unfortunately, not everyone is going to be fortunate to get all the new ones probably. So yeah, as I said, feel free to share everything in the Discord. I am trying to get some pieces now as well. Um, let's see. Sorry guys for not being too entertaining now, but I gotta get my pieces. All right, Jason requested to speak again.
Is it working now?
Now it's working, man. I already missed you.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. It wouldn't let me unmute myself. It just hung on mute. So you're sitting there asking me a question, and I'm pounding this button, and nothing is happening. So, just another day on X, man. What can you say?
Yeah,
But
good to have you back.
yeah, no worries, man. Sorry about that. Hopefully you were able to move some soul around and grab your pieces. Yeah, so
Not yet.
yeah, so I was just listening to Yvette's responses, and one of the things that she mentioned that always gets my mind going is the word vision. So I think it's just so lacking in most people's lives, and especially in this world nowadays. But when she was saying, or Yvette, when you were saying, that you were basically happy or proud to be part of the vision, I mean, I can't tell you how much that means to me, because like it's so hard to find people in the Web3 space that really are, plugged in and ready to run hard for the for the long term. And to hear you say that is a huge, huge compliment, I think. And I appreciate the fact that we've been able to connect, and then of course now work together. And I'm just curious what your experience has been. Like I know you've been in different communities across the Web3 space. You've been doing artwork. Obviously you've seen lots of projects come and go. I'm just curious, like when you're thinking in terms of vision and you're thinking in terms of the future, what do you see for like NFTs? What do you see for the direction of artwork in general? What are the things that you really gravitate toward in that space, or in this space, I should say, when you're looking at, really participating on another level inside a project?
Uh, Honestly, I think that there's a lot of talk about NFTs. NFTs are dead. NFTs are dying. All the nonsense that I think that is out there. I think that NFTs are honestly here to stay. Personally, I think there's just so much that we can do with an NFT, from an actual utility standpoint to the basic function of just using it as art. And as far as the vision of art, I think just the fact that we live in, well, I shouldn't say we, I can speak for me. I live and breathe to um, every every time I travel, without fail, the first thing that's on my agenda to do is to visit the local art museum slash museums, whatever, as many as I can take in. So the longevity of art historically, I think, is just proven. I absolutely love just with my own eyes taking in what someone else has taken their time to create, and that is just on, there's so many levels um, to the depth of a piece of artwork. To me is just always astonishing. So where do we go with art? It can go as far as we can take it, and I think it will outlive us all. It's has a horrible metaphor. It's the cockroach of the world. I mean, it's where we have paintings that we can still look at on caves. We can, stick drawings still exist that someone carved with a rock. It's Art is everywhere. Art is everything, and I think that's the beauty of when we get into some of these NFT communities. Some of the communities get that, and on different levels in different directions. But when you really find an NFT community that really is focusing on the art, the community to some degree is still intact and weathering whatever these storms are, whether the floor price is high or low, we're still there for the art. And I appreciate the founders that actually are still around, that have just sort of, you know, have written it out. And as a community member, that's something we 100% appreciate. And it's what hopefully for the most part drew us in. You always have flippers, but for the most part, in those communities, people are there for the art, for the community, to see where it can go and to help it grow there. And that's what I really appreciate.
Yeah, no doubt, for sure. It's been it's really been an interesting ride for me. Like, obviously over the weekend we had this crazy pullback in the marketplace, and then immediately, the negativity starts creeping into everyone's timeline. And this is just, I mean, to me, this is just evidence that we haven't reached this place where people who have been in and around money or investing or collecting for long periods of time, they've not really spent any like mental energy understanding these places that these markets can travel. And like the first thing I saw when I saw the pullback is I'm like, yay, it's sale time, right? Like load up the truck, man. So, I didn't think I was going to see these levels really again before the next banana zone strikes. So when this pullback hit, I'm like hitting the buy button basically all weekend. Like every few hours, I'd just go in and buy some more as it crept down. Even bought some more this morning. And I'm like stoked about that. And then I get on online and there's just such negativity floating around. The world is ending and this and that and the other thing. And I'm just like, guys, like it's like the things that you want are on sale right now. You should be snapping them up, So this mentality that people have where it's always short-term thinking, I think this is really the biggest challenge that, we're facing in the world of Web3 because we have such a youthful population and a youthful set of buyers. They haven't really seen market fluctuations and don't understand that everything is temporary. The ups are temporary, the downs are temporary. The market is so big, it's not going anywhere. And these sales that we get, this is cause to celebrate. Because if it was a good deal, like if Solana was a good deal at 190, then it's a hell of a deal at 117, which I think it dropped down to 117 yesterday. So, snap it up and smile, right? And then just wait and you're going to get that return. But if you panic at the top or like in the NFT communities, I see people panicking over energy ups and downs, just like in the token markets, you have the price fluctuations up and down. But the energy is more, I think, even a bigger sort of driver than anything, because if you can't control your emotions, you're always going to make bad decisions. And I see a lot of people, panicking and selling at the bottom, and then wondering why they didn't make any money when the token comes back up. It's like, well, because you panicked and you bought wrong. Like you want to sell, when the market is super happy and buy when the market's super terrified. And if you can do that, then you're going to be fine. So like this past weekend, I was just thinking about this because the timelines that I saw in pretty much all my social media were whether it was traditional markets looking at the Nasdaq or coin markets looking at what's happening with Bitcoin, ETH, Solana, or NFT markets, talking about dead discords and this and that and the other thing. I'm just like, like you can participate in that or you can create your own weather. And I would much prefer to, like set my mindset around something that's going to be positive and beneficial and not allow external forces to dictate how I live my life or how I think. And this art drop is a classic example of that. Like we could use, oh, the market pulled back as an excuse to like postpone mint. It's like, no, why would you do that? Just put it out there, see what happens, take the risk. We know the artwork is good. We've got contributions from yourself, like from Yvette, for example. We've got contributions from myself, previous artists. We've got new traits. We know the artwork is strong. So the question becomes, can we start finding the right people and the right mindsets to participate? And so every time we do that, it's kind of like that old movie, like an angel gets his wings, right? Like thinking like it's a wonderful life out here. And I'm super stoked that we've been able to find like the committed in this marketplace and we continue to look for them. And so, for those of you guys who've been with us and you've seen what's happened over the last year, you've seen us, create agreements with artists. You've seen us go back and pay artists that got rugged. You've seen us create new ways of minting. You've seen us basically bring in outside artists and do work with them. You've seen collaboration. You've seen the beginnings of a royalties business. You've seen the beginnings of ideas where we can create cash flow for holders. And all of these things are in the works. And the challenge that Alex and I face primarily is learning how to communicate that in a world where people focus on the negativity. And it's natural. I get it. Like humans think about 70% negative more than they think positive, and that's just an evolutionary thing where when we see something bad, our body and our mind are designed to protect us from it. But those days of living in fear and scarcity, those are past us and our psychology hasn't evolved. So I'm looking toward the future when we see a big consolidation of a lot of sort of mediocre projects and projects that fall by the wayside. And I'm looking forward to snapping up more of that art. I'm looking forward to bringing on more people that think like me and think like, the people that we have here, Alex, Yvette, STC, all of you guys, like the way that we're collecting and building and really holding on to quality assets, looking to collaborate with quality people. I think this is the future. And so, I mean, I couldn't be more excited for where we're at. So I just want to get off my soapbox, but I just wanted to say thanks for participating. Thanks for being here, guys. You are loved and appreciated, and we appreciate everything that you do to help us grow. And so I'll turn it back over to Alex. I guess you picked up a couple pieces finally. What's going on over there, buddy?
Yeah, man, exactly. Unfortunately, I haven't gotten the Uncle Sam yet. Yeah, probably will have to keep trying. But I saw that you already posted the new trade on the Discord, so if you guys want to check it out. Have you gotten one of the new backgrounds like the other ones?
I haven't even had a chance to really look yet. I'm just kind of just kind of going for what I can get, man. I just posted what I saw coming across like on Magic Eden.
Oh, that's cool, man. And yeah, maybe as a little information for the people who got a mint pass, because we got quite a couple of ones who actually submitted the form within the last 24 hours. And you guys will be able to mint right after the boss phase now. And yeah, I think 55 or 59 pieces are gone already. So let's see if something remains for these people. But yeah, as I said, all of the upcoming mints will be will have a phase where everyone who has a mint pass can mint. And yeah, you guys probably have noticed that we started some email marketing as well. So yeah, we're sending out some emails, sending out some information, and yeah, collecting the information from people who actually want to collect art. And as Jason just mentioned, that has been our challenge for the past year. And I think we've found a lot of good people, but I feel like there are still some out there who we haven't found yet. And yeah, you just said it, man. When like the last couple of days actually showed again how people react to these situations that we currently have, like the big dump in the crypto markets. I mean, I remember like 1 week ago, yeah, it was probably like 1 week ago when Bitcoin ran to 70K again, and I went on X and everyone was like, "Hey, Bitcoin is going to go there and there." And people started to get some kind of FOMO again, and now you actually get the same asset for, I think, like the local low was probably 49, I think, and people start panicking, and you see like all these posts on X, where people say like, "Hey, it's over." Like I think I even read like, "Hey, March seemed to be like this cycle's high," and yeah, we've talked so much about market psychology. And yeah, I did the same thing that you did, and basically kept accumulating, kept buying, and I feel like give us a couple end of the year, we'll probably I think I was gone for a second. Yeah, as I mentioned, I think at the end of the year we will see totally different prices.
Oh yeah, for sure, no doubt about it. It's it's like I think that I think a lot of people are disconnected from what's actually happening in the larger world when it comes to like adoption. We are at the very infancy of this marketplace. There's no doubt about that. Like, and in that space, there's lots of experimentation. There's lots of quote unquote eggs broken. And getting to the right idea takes a lot of work and takes a lot of time. But ultimately, what's happening in the world is greater and greater adoption each day. And as long as the story doesn't change, right? Like, as long as the story doesn't change, when you have a pullback, it's always a sale price. That's how you look at that, right? Now, if the story changes and you have a pullback, that's a different thing altogether. So, like, if adoption wasn't increasing, if more and more countries weren't talking about Bitcoin as a reserve asset, if more and more businesses weren't talking about adopting some form of blockchain as a database to track transactions and interactions with people, whether it's coupons or whether it's financial transactions, like the story would be very different. And that's when you sell, right? That's when you sell in a down market. But when the story doesn't change and the story is ever more positive, when you've got the biggest companies in the world buying crypto assets, when you've got, BlackRock, who owns everything, talking about, oh, we were wrong about Bitcoin and we're adding it. When you have presidents or candidates talking about becoming the Bitcoin president, like these are things that there's no reversal from. This is just good marketing to traditional markets, to traditional people for them to look in and investigate. That doesn't mean they're going to rush out and set up a phantom wallet and start custodying their own tokens, but it does mean that they'd be interested in some sort of institutional solution. And so I think that's going to be the next big wave. And while that's happening, the people like ourselves who are building and looking for like-minded souls who really want to be a part of the growth, this is where we start viably figuring out smart ways to advance. And so, like you mentioned, email marketing. So, as everyone here knows, we don't do any hype and horseshit. We don't hire influencers. I mean, if you could only see the tickets that we get and messages that we get, I mean, I wouldn't bore you with them. They're all the same. It's hire me to promote your thing. My group is X. Hire me to interact in your Discord to make your timeline active. Hire me. It's like, hire me to make it look like something positive is happening is really the message. And of course, that brings in the wrong people, which of course, basically is the same as just cutting your legs out from under you in the long run. So we don't do any of that. And even with the email marketing that we started doing and started playing with, this is a precursor to running ads to find more and higher quality holders inside our marketplace and bring them in. But even with, like, when I was looking at, we had, I think, 7 or 8 or 10 opt-ins for Mint Pass over the past 2 days. And when I went in and I looked at the IP addresses, like 5 of those opt-ins were from the same IP, meaning that someone basically spoofed their ask 5 times. Now, I don't know why you'd want 5 Mint passes unless you plan to do some shady shit. But at the end of the day, when I'm looking at that, I'm seeing even that as, okay, now we have to find a way to filter this to make sure that we're not getting multiple requests from the same IP. Because, if someone had 5 Mint passes and they came in and minted at a discount, and then the first thing they could do is run into the marketplace and then undercut the floor price, right? We don't want that. And it obviously skews all of our numbers. So even with that, like, we have to learn, newer and smarter ways of making sure that we protect what we've built. And I think, like Alice was saying, that's been the biggest challenge. I'm just curious if anyone on the call has seen other communities really making a conscious effort or a concerted effort to protect what they've built, or is it more along the lines of what I've seen, which is basically we just sell to everyone and we don't care. If you guys have some knowledge of that, like, throw a comment in Discord or underneath the spaces. I'd just be really curious to take a closer look at those communities and maybe start vibing with their founders.
Yeah, definitely, man. What I wanted to add to all that, how did you call it, fake and horseshit? I mean, Jason mentioned it already. We get so many messages from people who want to promote our project, mainly on X, like people saying, "Hey, do you need some like broader audience?" And we can we got so many influencer accounts, we can share your project and stuff like that. And on Discord, we recently got a guy who was actually providing people who are going to interact in the Discord. So you guys just have to think about it. I mean, whenever you jump into a new project, there is a pretty high probability that there are just like people interacting with each other who are getting paid for it. And it's actually affordable. I'm not even sure if it's just like one guy creating several Discord accounts and like chatting with each other, like fake chatting, or and yeah, and these guys sometimes like just charge like $100 a month. And when you get into new discords, I know we know, like, obviously, that a lot of people like just look for the hyped up stuff, like going into discords and seeing like the amount of people interacting with each other, and then you have the feeling of, hey, it seems to be like a big thing and many people are interested in this. But in the end, it's like just the same as if you go and let big influencers promote your project. They just drop a post, then they are going to create some fake engagement. And for example, like the giveaways are the same. Jason and I have been talking about that a lot. Like a lot of projects keep doing some giveaways, giving away some stuff, and like doing the good old game, like hey, repost it, tag some friends, and comment and everything. And people are just hunting for the free shit to dump it onto the communities, and that's definitely a bad thing because whenever we had someone giving away a piece, the winner immediately floored it. So he's not like actually interested in what the project does. He just wants some free money and goes away. That's why you will probably never see any sort of giveaway besides like giving away something to our community like the Saga phone. Um, and as we said, like we are very happy with how things have been going so far with the people we got into our community. And yeah, it's our birthday, and if we have some kind of little recap here, and I remember back then how we started. Jason and I, we got together. We had the all the ideas. We have brought released so many collections like the 21s, the artist incubator stuff, and it's been like such a great journey. And yeah, I love what we do. I love to bring good art to good people. And still, we mentioned multiple times that we are looking for these collectors, and we keep doing marketing. We just as we said, we started with the email marketing. We are going to run ads and everything, so there will be a broader audience in the future. But STC just said she didn't get a new background as well. Yvette didn't get one as well. So it seems to be like there's still a lot in the deck, and seems like nobody got the one of one yet. But yeah, as I said, I think we are having like I'm going to miss these times as well. Like having a couple of pieces in the spaces. Like having our little community, collecting everything. But as we keep promoting, as we keep trying out new things, we know that there will be a broader audience in the future, and yeah, this is great, isn't it?
Sure, man. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's it's always like the work that you put in that seems so difficult in the moment. That work that you're putting in that sometimes becomes the grind, that sometimes becomes, oh, I don't want to do this again. Like that's the work that you look back on and you romanticize, and it's like, oh, those are such great times, I loved when we were this or when we were that. And it's just been like thinking about the path over the last year and a lot of the things that we've accomplished that no one even attempted before, things that we didn't even know were possible, like taking legal agreements to like the biggest companies in Web3, like OpenSea or Magic Eden, and having stolen art delisted. Like negotiating with these guys to make that happen. I mean, this opens a whole new door to where like developing relationships with these companies could lead to us basically being the go-to company to license the rugged art that they find on their chain, right? Because on some level, the legality dictates that they don't want to be part of the negativity, right? Otherwise, they start to lose reputation score in the minds and the hearts of the people that use them, and they start to become almost like this negative force, right? So like when we were able to get the old OG art delisted, the ladies art delisted. I mean, these are things that weren't necessarily talked about, things that weren't possible. And then knowing that these artists, were basically stolen from, and then being able to go back and say, okay, well, we're going to reissue the art and we're going to make sure that you get paid and take good care of you. Like these are conversations that just don't exist in the space. And when I say hype and horseshit, that's what I mean. Like, my first exposure to NFTs was that it's just people pumping, 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 but not really talking anything about how they could be sustainable in the future. And that was the genesis of this project. That's the genesis of working with artists. And no matter who we work with, we want it to be win-win. So, for example, I mean, Yvette's on the call, so she can tell you, like, she and I had a conversation on the phone, and that led to a series of messages with her and Alex, which led to a document, which led to signatures, which leads to a payment for her, right? And that's only fair that we take care of her because she worked for the project and she did work for us, right? And all of the artists previously that, that we've worked for, we support them by making sure that everything that comes through the door, whatever they're owed, goes to them. And we weren't seeing this in the past, like when you see people trading work for some sort of interest in a future thing that's never going to happen. I mean, that's not the same thing, and it doesn't necessarily lead to great work. So, like taking care of artists, making sure that what we have we own, making sure that we can issue IP rights, making sure that we're actively excluding people from Mint who really don't care about the project. Which is why I'm doing seemingly crazy things like looking at IP addresses on email submission forms to make sure that we're not getting 5 Mint passes to the same person hiding behind the same computer who just want to undercut the market, right? And what I see in other projects is just like, well, we'll sell to everybody, and we'll give you this and we'll give you that. And basically, what they're doing is they're saying we'll sacrifice everything that we value in order to look like we're successful, right? And in America right now, there's a lot of people who like to look like they're successful, right? Like if I drive around my neighborhood right now, the houses on the street go from anywhere from maybe 600 to 800. There's maybe one house on the street that's worth $1 million in Phoenix. And, in Phoenix, that's a lot of money for a house, right? If this were California, everything would be more than twice that. But then I look at the driveways, and there's 2 Teslas in this driveway and 4 Acuras in that driveway, and then like an old redone Ford truck here, and then, like 14 SUVs on this street. I mean, people have more money in cars in their driveway than they do in their houses. And it's like all about this looking like they've got all these resources and all this wealth. But at the end of the day, I guarantee you, if I put my balance sheet up against theirs, I'm probably doing better. And the reason that I'm doing better is because I don't carry debt on stupid shit, right? And it's the same thing here. Like we don't want to carry debt in the form of bad energy, in the form of bad will toward people in the marketplace. We don't want to look successful. We want to actually be successful. And there's a massive difference between keeping up with the Joneses, and having 4 cars and 4 car payments, or having the same house and 2 cars that's all paid for. It's a massive, massive difference. So I think when I look at the space as a whole, what do we want to bring into the space? Well, we want to bring in people who are real, not talk about real, but actual real people. Not talk about excluding people who really don't care, but actually excluding people who don't care. And that's not a knock against them saying they're bad people. It's just a protection mechanism because what we're building here matters and we want it to be sustainable for life. So, yeah, I mean, that's kind of my take on that. So we got Jin Suki joined us. What's up, my friend? Hope you're doing well. If you got some comments, man, let me know. We'll throw you the microphone. And yeah, so I'll get off my soapbox and turn it back over to you, brother.
I just looked at the Discord and I saw that we got one lucky French man in our community. He got plenty of new backgrounds. He got the new trade, both new trades actually, the iWare trade as well, and the tomatoes. Looks like the 1 of 1 is still in the deck. Almost 80 pieces gone. So let's see if some pieces will be left for the ones with the mint passes. I will probably have to mint 1 or 2 as well, 1 more. And yeah, I actually wanted to focus totally on the mint today, but as we had like that big little crash in the crypto space and we used to talk about the markets as well, let's just talk a little bit about that while always having an eye on the mint. Do you see any reasons for the dump? I actually saw some posts on X that kind of tried to summarize why markets went down heavily. And what I saw was basically stuff like, like odds of Trump winning the election decreased. What else? Japanese markets went down pretty heavily. Do you think it's like a mix of everything, or do you think there's like a certain thing that happened that led to the big crash?
Yeah, there was the Federal Reserve met this past week to discuss interest rates. I don't know if you saw this, but there was an expectation that they were going to lower interest rates, which is an indication that money is going to continue to be inflated. And what they did was they kept interest rates unchanged. And so this is generally not seen as a good thing for liquidity in the marketplace because it makes money more expensive to borrow, right? So everyone had built their positions with this expectation that the Fed was going to drop rates, which is generally a bullish sign for business and enterprise, but they didn't. So now, the Fed is basically on the hook for probably a big drop going into, I think September's their next meeting. And that'll be because they want to make sure that the economy, quote unquote, looks good going into the election, right? So that was a huge driver. And then, of course, there was talk of more war, right? So these are things that generally scare markets, and these are things that people, whether they have a position in a risk asset or not, they generally want to move out of riskier assets and move into stabler assets in these times. And so that was probably the biggest driver. And again, like these are all temporary situations. So once the positions have been sold and money has been repositioned, then we bottom, we consolidate, and then we start to climb again, right? And so that's basically what you saw like this morning or late last night. I think Bitcoin bottomed at like 51. I think Solana bottomed at like 117-ish, 115 US. I forget exactly what it was. And then of course now we've started to bounce up off the bottom. And this is always the case. Probably had something to do with the end of the month, probably had something to do with all of these things. But short-term traders feed off energy, right? And so if you have people moving markets or people who own assets large enough to move markets, if they see a position being sold, then they will participate in the sale just to protect whatever gains they have. So, we talked about the psychology of the feeding frenzy and how it works in both directions. So that's basically my take on that. And yeah, so I'm just looking at Discord. I'm just going through Discord right now. It looks like Bilo grabbed the tomato trait, which is super cool. Very cool, very cool. STC picked up some new backgrounds. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Oh, STC got the white background underboss. That is so freaking cool. Very, very cool. I haven't even I don't even, I've got to go in there and see if I can grab a couple more pieces. Does anyone know if the 101 has been minted yet?
Looks like it's not gone yet. It looks like it's still in the deck. And I haven't. I think I just saw 2 new backgrounds here in the Discord yet. Looks like no one got the third one. How many of the new backgrounds are in there? I think like 17 or something.
I think it was like 15 or 17. I can't remember exactly. But yeah, there was enough to get like almost a 1 in 2 chance of getting one of them.
Okay, so I just have to mint a couple more to get one. So just trust the odds. Let's see. It's always a little tricky to be live on Spaces during a mint because obviously we want to grab a couple ones as well. So bear with us.
Looks like STC minted the forget about it. This particular outfit, this Detroit outfit with the red rose, this is my favorite. As you can see, it's my profile picture. This particular trait, it has been one that has always spoken to me. I love that suit, that red rose, and that's one of those traits that we've not modified at all. We're just going to keep holding on to, mainly just because I don't dare change it, man. It's just too freaking cool. So kudos to STC on grabbing that piece. I was hoping I would get a couple of those because anytime I get one of those, they're never, ever, ever leaving my wallet. So kudos to you for getting that.
Yeah, and I gotta say, I gotta repeat it. Like every single piece I saw on the Discord is so good. Actually, I have to post mine as well. But let's see. Um,
I can't.
and the new eyewear trade is so cool as well. I think that would work great with the female versions.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you read my mind. Like, we have these two collections that ultimately we're going to be uniting, right? So some of the artwork is designed to go back and forth between the two. And like if you look at the two females inside this collection, there's two female bosses, right? And they're the only two females in this collection that will ever exist. And you'll note that they basically have pulled some of the male traits in, and we've taken some of the traits from the female collection and brought them into the males so that we can start uniting the artwork and bringing it together. And so all of this is by design and ultimately creating this larger thing, right? And when we get to the point where we're at the eras, the 1,000-piece eras, when we start getting into the females, there's a lot of things that we can do that cross over that will actually bring this whole universe together. And so these are some of the ideas that we're kicking around. So for those of you guys, really building your families from your bosses all the way down through your soldiers and associates, these are things that we really want to showcase with you and give you other ways to interact with your art. So there's a lot of plans for that, but there's also lots of plans for how you can participate on the business end if you're holding a family. So kudos to everyone picking up those pieces, and yeah, I'm really stoked that so many people are receiving the newer pieces, the newer backgrounds, and that the feedback has been positive. That's a huge thing. So I appreciate all of you guys, and thanks for all the comments.
Yeah, definitely. And once we get deeper into dropping like the female art, I feel like we definitely need to get Batunos onto Spaces, and because I feel like the female art never really got the attention, because back then when Art of Mob released it for the first time, they were basically already showing that they are going to rock, and that's why I felt like people didn't really pay attention to that. There were a lot of flippers who wanted to like just get a free mint and then sell it, and we will bring back the attention to that collection because we love it. And I'm actually very curious to see how you, Jason, as you're obviously um, doing the art for us, how you're going to manage to bring these two collections together.
Yeah, it's definitely a challenge because the female artwork and the male artwork are slightly different in major ways, if that makes sense. So like you can have slight differences in style that basically show up as massive differences visually. And so, like the challenge right now is when I'm creating on top of Francois's work, right? Like Francois was the original artist. I found out after the fact that Francois got screwed, and then they brought in some do part of the artwork, and then I realized, of course, that some of the traits didn't match Francois's style, and so now I'm building on top of two styles. And so what I'm having to do basically is really analyze the pieces and find out, what makes this style work, whether it's the size of the stroke or the texture. Like one of the things that people don't notice, like if you take any of the Goodfellas pieces and you download them and you look at them in high res, like you pull them up on a bigger screen, look at the shadowing, if you look at the texture in the garments, if you look at the shapes of the hair or the texture in the hats or the shadowing, you'll see a shit ton of detail that you don't see in a lot of illustrative art um, on any of the chains, to be quite honest with you. So one of the reasons that this artwork was so special to me was being that I'm a detail-oriented person. When I blew it up, I saw all the extra work that went into creating that, and it just blew my mind. And so from a distance, these pieces look almost photorealistic. And so balancing this line between what's photorealistic versus what's extremely detailed vector artwork is not an easy thing to do, and it requires a shit ton of work. So like when I'm talking about like honoring the artwork and honoring the original artist, I I I I hope that I could somehow convey like my appreciation for the original pieces in the fact that like if you look closely at the detail, like you'll see threads in the suits, right? Like you'll see shadows where shadows are supposed to be. It won't just be line art filled in with a solid color. And to me, that's just absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, I believe that. I'm looking forward to to everything you're going to do with the new art. We got Gensuki now. Hey man, what's good?
Yeah, I'm doing good. How are you doing? How is everybody doing today? I think I know I love the conversation here. About I head. I don't know who was speaking because I was a bit busy. Bringing attention back to probably female art. I was like, yo, that really got me, because I think I saw HTC up here because HTC is part of our community. I was like, okay, let me come in and check what is happening. But I know that is really interesting because I think in the Genzuki art, we have some female characters, and even our V2, that is currently minting, we have lots of female characters there, and also connecting with a lot of female founders is always, wonderful because, yeah, we have some female founders that has actually been very incredible to know my friends, from Maria and every other female founders we have in the space. So I think yeah, the person that was saying something about that. I think this is that is something really important and really will really be appreciative.
Yeah, definitely, man. And I was just like, while you were talking, I was actually like checking your X account. So you're basically a project as well, if I see it right. I've seen some of the art you guys do.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we are projects, and yeah, we are currently minting on two chains simultaneously and on our launchpad. Yeah.
Sounds cool, man. Sounds cool. I've seen that your art is a lot of like anime related, from what I've seen now. And what is like your purpose? Like, what are you guys building?
All right. Okay. We yeah. That is this is actually a V2. Art. Yeah. What we are building. We're focusing on building some dApps, some tools that will actually enable creators projects in the space multi-chain, because currently we actually have a holder verification bot that we built is live, and we have this launchpad that is live. We have a staking mechanism that is live. The launchpad is live on Polygon and Say currently, and we actually, we are building a swap because we have a Suki token, so we are building a Suki swap, which we just made the announcement that will be communicated across. And another thing that we are building is actually a multi-chain raffle platform that is actually going to cover about initially, we are going to be live on four chains currently, and the raffle platform is about 90% almost completed. So we have some couple of things on the way, and why our art is somehow anime related, just like you said, because we'll be building kind of a game library, like coin flip games and stuff like that. So we are just here, trying to put out some tools and some other things that will actually encourage the community activity and also other builders. But one thing we really notice is that some builders actually say, okay, we are minting, this is what we are going to be doing after the mint. Most of the time they spend their money trying to develop other things before they actually get to the core of their utility. So we just we thought about how about this summer builders partner with other people that already have these protocols ready, infrastructure ready already, so that they actually save more money to focus on the roadmap that they're already building. Yeah, I don't know if I wrong or if you heard me. Yeah, just unless I forget to add. We have some couple of giveaways that is live right now. On Polygon, we'll be giving away about a space case. Anybody that knows about the project, it's almost 70 matic floor price currently in our couple means going forward, and some other things. Because we actually encountered a kind of a glitch on a wallet on Say. It was not approving mint on our mint, so that is what kind of delayed our mint a bit. But we are good, judging with the market conditions, everything. We are always here. We have been building the brand for over a year. Yeah, HTC is here, part of our community. Even from Crypto H, she has actually been part of the community. So yeah, we are always here, every day, and we'll always be happy to connect and come up on stages like this and connect with great builders.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, we can hear you. I think Alex is trying to do some minting. We're doing basically a mint party and holding a spaces at the same time. So that's probably what's going on, brother. But yeah, I've seen you in a couple spaces too, and it seems like more of us who believe in doing things right and bringing positive vibes together keep finding each other here on X, brother. So I really appreciate you being here, man. Every time we come on, you're more than welcome to join us. Sounds like you got a lot of noise in the background, man. Where are you right now?
Yeah, I just came back, from my IRL work because, yeah, I don't do Web3 full time. So I think I'm just, resetting the house, and yeah, there was some music playing in the background and stuff like that. Maybe that's all.
Right on, man. It's always good to have music playing in the background. Where are you in the world, if I might ask?
All right, I'm in Africa currently. I'm in Africa.
Well, Africa's a big place, man. Where at in Africa?
Yeah, Nigeria specifically. I'm in Nigeria.
Oh, right on, brother. Right on. Good deal. What time is it for
Yeah,
you right now?
this is 7:02 p.m. and unfortunately, I'm the only one in Africa in our team. So every other person is not in this part of the world.
Very cool, brother. So you said you're on multiple chains right now. What blockchains are you guys using?
Yeah, currently we are on what we've built is actually live on Say and Polygon, but our Raffle platform is actually will be live also on Base, on Blast, and Say and Polygon inclusively. But we are hoping to expand to other chains. But we are building a Suki Swap now, a Suki Swap DEX aggregator that's actually going to be live. Will be live on a couple of chains as well. But that is not going to be limited to any particular chain they swap. So we try to incorporate different other chains that we can, and keep going. And it's an aggregator. It's a swap dex aggregator. So yeah, it's actually going to carry on a lot of other chains.
Awesome, man. Well, thanks for sharing all that, brother. I mean, anytime you see us, we usually do spaces on Friday mornings. So if you're ever out on Friday mornings, man, jump in and we'll chat some more. I'll follow you and see if we can get some joint vibes happening, man. I appreciate the positive energy that you bring, and I'm sure I'll see you in some more spaces, brother. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you, friend. Yeah, thank you. I'm definitely looking up to that. Where in the world are you?
I'm in the U.S., man. I'm in Phoenix, Arizona, actually on the north edge of Phoenix, Arizona, in a little town called Anthem. And we've lived here I've been in Arizona for about the last 20 years.
Yeah, all right. Since you said, Friday morning, I was like, you, because it's actually Monday for me currently. I was like,
Cool deal, man. Yeah, so definitely pop by, brother, and let's stay in touch, and we'll go from there. I'm sure there's lots of things we can vibe on together. I know that, like I said, I keep seeing you in a lot of the same spaces that I find myself in, man. So it's always nice to connect with other people who are doing good things in the world, brother. That's what it's all about.
yeah, thank you, bro. Just shoot a follow. Thank you. Always open to connect and collaborate.
Sweet. Alex, are you back, man? Did you get the one of one yet, or what?
Haven't gotten it, man. I don't know what I can do now. Like maybe mint out the remaining pieces. But yeah, I'm happy if someone from the community gets it as well, man.
I can't believe it's still in the deck, man. That's crazy. Uh, Shoot. All right, I'm gonna go mint some more. Maybe I'll grab it. Let me see.
Yeah, so 1 year, man. It's been a ride, right? Um, and like the best thing about being here for a year and celebrating our 1 year anniversary, knowing that will be here in 2 years, in 3 years, in 4 years. We have plenty of anniversaries coming up, and I think this is actually a thing our community realizes as well. Like from what we've done so far, we've been around every day, every single day. And we are like a tech team, you know. Some people forget that we are actually like just a group of two people managing all that stuff. And yeah, a lot of what we did. I appreciate you. I appreciate all the work you do. I know that you have some sleepless nights doing the art. And yeah, you're definitely allowed to take some days off now, man.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. I was going to ask for some time off, so yeah, but yeah, I mean, so for those of you guys who are new, Alex is over in Germany. I think you're not far from Cologne, if I remember correctly. And we almost crossed paths last year this time when I traveled to Italy, but Italy's on the south side of Germany and Cologne is on the north side, so that didn't happen. But Alex is coming here in November, I think you said, or September, November this year. So maybe we could connect when you're here. I think you're flying into Yvette's territory, right? You're flying into LA. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly. Flying to LA in late September and going to drive around the United States, like the east side. You actually gave me a pretty cool route that I'm trying to travel. And man, if God allows, yeah, we are going to meet for the first time. And yeah, it's going to be great. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, that's awesome. I know you were asking me about stuff to do in like LA area, and I'm not a huge fan of LA, so maybe Yvette, maybe you can give him some hot spots to hit when the plane lands.
I am more than happy to assist with that. So we can connect. I'd be more than happy to give you some information and get a better idea of where you're trying to drive to and from. So yeah, I'm happy to help.
Yeah, definitely. Looking forward to connect. I mean, like I want to visit like the secret stuff, like the good stuff that local people would visit. Like I've done the tourist stuff in 2019 when I visited LA, like doing the studio tours and visiting like the big spots. But now I want like the American stuff, like the stuff you guys probably would visit if you were there. And yeah, looking forward to that.
Easy. I'm happy to help.
That's great. So, how many pieces are remaining? 9 pieces are left. So, yeah, I think we are going to wrap it up here. It was great having you guys on Spaces today. And yeah, we will going to be live on Friday again, trying to celebrate the badge as good as possible on the Discord now, and trying to hopefully grab 1 or 2 pieces more. And yeah, this should be it for today. Jason, do you have anything left that you need to say?
Just much love and gratitude to everyone, guys. Really appreciate every single one of you and what you brought to the table. Much love to you, Yvette, for putting together such fantastic background art, and love to the community for supporting what we're doing. This is it means everything to have so much positive support behind the vision of doing great things in a marketplace that isn't known for that. So let's keep showing up, let's keep showing out, and continue to grow.
Definitely, man. Looking forward to everything that is coming. Looking forward to the next year. Let's see where we are at our next anniversary. And thank you everyone for joining the ride. Thank you everyone for being with us, for joining the spaces every week and listening to the podcast. Looking forward to meet you guys on Friday. Thank you everyone for being here. Hope you guys had fun minting. Let's celebrate on the Discord a little more, and see you guys on Friday. Bye bye.